A revolution is developing silently around us, a revolution that many people are not even aware of. This movement is paving the way for what the Bible describes as the mark of the beast in the book of Revelation. Think of smart home devices that regulate lighting, air conditioning, or security systems at the push of a button, wearable fitness trackers that monitor your health and activities, and even connected cars that provide real-time traffic updates and feature autonomous driving. All of these elements are part of this network. Although these devices promise greater convenience and efficiency, they also serve another purpose: to collect enormous amounts of data about us. From smart homes to connected cars and even entire smart cities, the Internet of Things is reshaping the way we live. But in 2023, it is also listening to our conversations, tracking our actions, monitoring our searches, and locating our position. Imagine, as never before, a smart home system that knows in which room you are, how long you stay there, and even tracks your daily routines. This kind of surveillance is unprecedented, and we are only at the beginning. While many are familiar with the concept of the Internet of Things, few are aware of an even deeper evolution of this technology: the Internet of Bodies. The Internet of Bodies takes this technological integration to a more personal level, involving devices that are worn or implanted in the human body to collect data on health, behavior, and biometrics. These devices are designed to interpret your neural activity, allowing you to operate a computer or smartphone simply by thinking. Although these body devices are still in their early stages compared to the Internet of Things, they are advancing at an extraordinary pace. It is predicted that by 2025, the adoption of these technologies will increase drastically, leading to a world where such integration becomes the norm. The implications of these developments are enormous. They promise revolutionary possibilities, but they also raise profound questions about privacy, autonomy, and control. For example, Neuralink is moving toward a future that, just a few decades ago, seemed like pure science fiction. Their work with brain-computer interfaces represents a significant leap in integrating technology with the human body. They reached a historic milestone when the Food and Drug Administration approved their first experiments on human beings. One of the participants, Nolan N. Bogg, made headlines for successfully controlling a computer cursor using only a brain implant. However, while this technology has immense potential for good, it is also opening the door to something far more complex. Neuralink's objectives, although initially focused on medical breakthroughs, are part of a broader vision shared by many organizations and influential figures who envision a future where brain-computer interfaces not only assist in daily activities, but also integrate directly with artificial intelligence. The implications of this vision go beyond physical health, challenging our understanding of autonomy and privacy. Could you imagine a world where technology responds to your commands and even anticipates your thoughts? The possibility of monitoring brain activity in real time is no longer a distant fantasy. It is something we are approaching with every new development. In that future, our most private space, our mind, may no longer be entirely our own. Devices that analyze your health could also collect data on your daily habits, your location, or your preferences. Now, imagine that these systems are connected to broader networks of artificial intelligence or global monitoring platforms. A chip that begins as a medical tool could evolve into something capable of gathering data on everything, from your emotions to your thought patterns. What would this mean for personal freedom and privacy? It is not difficult to see how such technologies could be used to manipulate or control people, especially if they fall into the wrong hands. It is easy to focus on the benefits of these advances, and there are many, but the potential for misuse is equally significant. In the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verses 16 and 17, we are given a serious warning that requires both small and large, rich and poor, free and enslaved, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, so that no one may buy or sell without the mark, the name of the beast, or the number of its name. The mark of the beast is more than just a symbol. It represents a clear alliance with the Antichrist and a rejection of God. Observing how quickly technology is advancing, It is not hard to imagine a system capable of monitoring and controlling every aspect of our lives. Could this be the tool that the Antichrist will use to impose the mark? It is something we must take very seriously. The future described in Revelation may seem like a distant dystopia, but think about where we are today. What if the time comes when you cannot buy food or support your family without a device implanted in your body, one that tracks your every movement and even your thoughts? This is no longer just science fiction. It is a real possibility, and we must prepare our hearts and minds. Satan, who has deceived humanity since the dawn of time, is far more cunning than we are. He has been working for centuries, silently preparing the ground for the coming of the Antichrist. The Bible tells us to remain vigilant, and when we look at today's world, the signs are undeniable. The pieces of the puzzle are falling into place. However, the enemy will not subjugate us solely through fear. On the contrary, the deception will be enticing. An offer of a revolutionary device, a small implant that can monitor your health, predict a heart attack before it occurs, and alert doctors in time to save your life. Who wouldn't desire something like that? It seems like an extraordinary innovation, almost a miracle. But behind the promises of convenience and safety lies a much more dangerous reality. Scripture reminds us who the true architect of deception is: Satan, the father of lies. He is leading the world toward a time when this mark will no longer be optional. The book of Revelation, chapter 13, clearly states what will happen next. The Antichrist is not merely a system or a symbol, but a reality that is rapidly approaching. He will not be a government, a movement, or an institution. He will be a man. Revelation, chapter 13, verse 18, emphasizes this: "Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast. Indeed, that number is the number of man, and its number is 666. The Bible leaves no room for ambiguity. The Antichrist will be a man, a real person, who will rise to power in a way never seen before. His influence will be immense, and his deception unparalleled. The Bible describes the Antichrist as the beast that rises from the sea, a symbolic name that reveals much about his nature, origin, and character. Although he is a man, God does not see him as someone made in his divine image. The Antichrist is portrayed as a wild, destructive beast, completely under the control of Satan, who is called the dragon in Revelation. In chapter 13, verse 2, we see the source of the Antichrist's power. "The beast I saw was like a leopard, with the feet of a bear, and a mouth like a lion." The dragon granted him his power, his throne, and great authority. Satan is the one who empowers the Antichrist, bestowing upon him immense authority to carry out his evil plans. Many underestimate the power and influence of Satan. The Bible makes it clear that for a time, Satan was granted significant authority over this world. He is called the God of this age in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 4, and the prince of the power of the air in Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 2. In the first letter of John, chapter 5, verse 19, we read that we know we are from God and that the whole world lies under the power of the evil one. These passages reveal the temporary authority Satan has over the kingdoms of this world. When he attempted to tempt Jesus in the wilderness, Satan offered him all the kingdoms of the world, an offer that, though baseless, demonstrated a certain sovereignty granted by a fallen state. But Jesus saw beyond the deception. He knew that accepting that offer would mean submitting to Satan and rejecting God. He responded with authority. "Get behind me, Satan, for it is written, 'Worship the Lord your God and serve him only.'" This reminds us that no matter how powerful Satan may seem, his authority is temporary and his influence limited. Only God is sovereign, and his plans will ultimately prevail. In Revelation, chapter 13, verse 2, it is said that the dragon, another name for Satan, will grant the Antichrist his power, his throne, and great authority. This means that the Antichrist will be directly fueled by the power of hell. The number 666 is not only symbolic, it represents the supreme rebellion against God. a mark of fidelity to the beast that has no place in the lives of those who follow Christ. Let this serve as a reminder to always remain cautious and discerning in a world that often trivializes the matters of God. The Antichrist may come with great power and deception, but his defeat and the victory of God's kingdom are already assured. The story of the Trojan horse is a powerful reminder of how deception can come in the form of a gift. The Greeks, desperate to conquer the city, built a huge wooden horse and left it at the gates. To the Trojans, it seemed like a tribute, a symbol of victory. But hidden inside were soldiers ready to act at the right moment. That night, while the Trojans celebrated, the enemy emerged from within the horse, opened the gates, and destroyed the city, a disturbing tale of misplaced trust and hidden dangers. This story is more relevant now than ever. In our modern world, the Trojan horse has taken on a new form: technology. These advancements seem harmless, even useful, as they promise to improve life, make it easier and more connected. But beneath the surface, there may be something much more sinister, a potential to control, monitor, and manipulate in ways we never imagined. Observing how advanced technology has become, it is hard not to marvel. Every new device or app promises convenience, efficiency, or security, and it delivers on those promises. But at what cost? The truth is that these innovations often come with invisible strings attached. They collect our personal data, track our movements, and even influence the way we think and behave, often without us realizing it. Once these technologies become part of our lives, it becomes nearly impossible to break free from them. We exchange a bit of freedom for convenience, a bit of privacy for progress. Consider how quickly technology is changing. 100 years ago, progress moved at a stable and manageable pace. Now it accelerates so rapidly that it is hard to keep up. The book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 4, speaks of a time when knowledge will increase drastically. Many will run to and fro, and knowledge will multiply. That time is now. Look around you. The rise of artificial intelligence, quantum computing, biotechnology, and so many other innovations. All of these are transforming the world in ways we could never have imagined. The Bible warns us to be vigilant and to recognize the signs of the times. In the first letter to the Thessalonians, chapter 5, verses 2 and 4, it is stated, "The day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night, when people say, 'There is peace and security,' and sudden destruction will come upon them, like labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape." This is a wake-up call. While the world around us is lulled into a false sense of security, we cannot afford to be complacent. The promises of peace, security, and progress sometimes blind us to the hidden dangers. We are not waiting for the future, it is already here. The Internet of Things, the Internet of Bodies, and the integration of technology into every part of our lives are no longer futuristic ideas, they are happening now. As incredible as these advances are, they raise questions we must be willing to answer. What will happen when technology knows more about us than we do about ourselves? What will we do when our freedom starts to seem like an illusion? There is a change underway in the world, a collective sense that we are on the brink of something monumental. Do you feel it too? It is as if the entire world is holding its breath, waiting for what is to come. We are living in the last days. The signs are everywhere. This is not the time to be distracted or complacent. It is a time to remain vigilant, discerning, and steadfast in our faith. Yes, technology offers incredible benefits, transforming the way we live and connect. But we must not ignore the risks or be swept away by its promises without asking the difficult questions. Remember the story of the Trojan horse. The Trojans thought they were receiving a gift, but in reality, they were inviting their own destruction. Let us not make the same mistake. Stay vigilant, stand firm, and above all, remain faithful to Him who has already won the final victory.